America's Got Talent. Season 15 premieres tonight, Tuesday, May 26th, 8 Eastern Time. And one of the judges of this show back here on The Rich Eisen Show is Howie Mandel. How are you, sir?
I seem to be okay. I'm just waiting for the applause to die down. Give me a second.
No, there's no audience here. We are audience-free, Howie. But I would tell you, if we had one, they'd be standing.
Can't we just pretend?
We can. We can.
Really?
But
I heard you talking about Tyson.
Yes.
I was at the Holyfield fight.
the one where he bit him.
Close.
He bit him.
What?
That's the one where he bit Evander. Right?
Yes.
And what's your recollection
of that? That was like the scariest night in my sports activities ever in my life.
Well,
I didn't believe what I was seeing. You know, they stopped that fight a couple of times before because I think he was biting before.
Yes.
But when he spit that out, I was close enough to say, what is he eating that he just spit? Oh, look, he spit out his gum. Wait, that's not gum. That's flesh.
That's lobe. That's lobe. By the way, lobe doesn't stay fresh for like a minute, apparently. It doesn't.
Why do you know that? Why do you know that?
I was just trying to make a joke. I'll be very honest with you, Howie. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't try to.
No, you should. You should.
Okay.
And I love that you cop to it.
I do.
In fact, when I get back to stand-up, I'm going to use that method. Because when there is sometimes
yes.
in every comics world,
yes.
there are crickets, right? Not everything works. Not everything's a gem.
Yes.
But I love following up in that silence. Hey, people, I was just trying to make a joke.
Just trying. But the whole thing is trying does a lot of heavy lifting in that statement because you know what I mean? Because if somebody says, why would you say that? Or what do you mean by that? Then clearly it doesn't work. No
and you had Peyton on earlier?
I did indeed. Yes.
Oh my God. Did you watch yesterday? That was
what'd you think?
Exciting yet boring at the same time. It was a blend of exciting because you want to see sports, but it gave me new ideas. You know, I also produce on the side. I want to call like LeBron. I want to see LeBron lawn bowling.
Huh. Okay.
Don't you think? Not so much, and to make it different than what we saw, not rain, but with just an overcast day of LeBron lawn bowling.
Why overcast? Does that add a little bit of extra?
No, because I'm just trying to, because it worked yesterday. You know, the cable stations hit record numbers.
They did,
and it was rain. 4 guys golfing in the rain, splitting of pants. You know, I just want to I want to adhere to the formula of success. So I don't want to say, oh, he's just copying what they did. So I just want it to be overcast, no rain.
You know, it's interesting, Howie, because I'm kind of ready to go full circle here on this conversation because of what you said, that it was watching the Holyfield-Tyson fight in person was the scariest moment of your sports viewing life. What did that displace? What is the second scariest moment that you've ever had?
You have to know who you're talking to here, and
yes.
this is pre-pandemic. I've always, people are calling this a pandemic. I'm calling it, told you. You know, I'm the biggest germaphobe there ever was. So the fear of any sporting event I like sports.
Yes.
But I predominantly watch sports on television or listen to sports on the radio. But I go to things because that's what people do, and just being amongst the crowd, just being shoulder to shoulder with people is horrifying. It has always been horrifying to me, you know, and so that's
anything.
Horrifying. Go ahead.
Anything. So anything you're saying, any sporting event you ever went to was the scariest that you've ever been to, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and just being amongst people. So where else are you amongst that kind of crowd of strangers and being touched by going through a turnstile? And it's any arena, any coliseum, any place that I've ever gone to see a sporting event is terrible. I go in terrified, and I hope that the game will kind of alleviate or take my mind off of this pervasive darkness that is going on in my head, and it usually does. I can get into the game and be distracted. So now when I'm really scared of the crowd and I have a really good seat at a fighting match and I'm just starting to ease up with the pain, the man in the ring is eating the other man. And that's scary.
And thus the scariest of all time. Howie Mandel here on the Rich Eisen Show. So I was going to ask you that so how are you handling quarantine? It's just
No, I've been in quarantine. You know, I have moments that people see me on television where I'm out of quarantine. I live quarantine. I live in, I felt responsible at the beginning of this with the shortage of PPE. I thought, have I been hoarding? Have I been hoarding it all? From day one of my career in 1977, I got known for putting a rubber glove, a latex, a surgical glove over my head. Where did I have that? I've been carrying them from the time that they were available to the general public because I didn't want to touch things. So I've actually given away all my PPE, and now that the world is living clean, I'm actually, I don't know that misery enjoys company, but everybody's in my nightmare with me. This is horrible.
I do remember that part of your stand-up act. I do remember that, where you would put the
rubber glove.
Yeah, the rubber glove over your head and kind of like blow it up.
Way before, and I had surgical masks, and I built another little guest room off of my main house for when I had kids and they got sick. I would go into the other room. It was like a rehearsal for this. I have been rehearsing all my life, and now I'm an expert at this.
That's why you call it "Told You." That's why it's what you and hey, your memoir is called "Here's the Deal: Don't Touch Me."
See that? And that was a New York Times bestseller 5 years ago. Free. I'm like the Jewish Nostradamus.
Oh my gosh, Howie Mandel here on the Rich Eisen Show, and that was all your stand-up. That was pre St. Elsewhere? I mean, you're.
Oh yeah, that was 1977.
Who would you do stand-up with in '77? Walk me through it tonight.
Well, in '77 you wouldn't have known, but I did a young comedian special, I think in '80 or '81.
Okay.
On my young comedian special, which was they used to do that annually, to kind of give a showcase to the young kids who were coming up. So on my special, it was me, Jerry Seinfeld.
Come on.
I don't know what he ended up doing. Richard Lewis, Harry Anderson, and me, and it was hosted by the Smothers Brothers at the Roxy in L.A. on Sunset.
So who was the most neurotic one on stage? Would that be have to?
It was just a short bus of neurosis. It was like I don't know who was more, but we were all pretty neurotic. The least was probably Harry Anderson.
Sure. May he rest in peace. Right. So, but right. We had Richard Lewis here on the show once, and I think I asked one question at the start, and then he talked, and then that was the end of it. It was just, it was amazing.
More of a session.
It
more of a therapy session.
It did feel like, that's why I asked who's the most neurotic, because I would have taken him. I would have taken him, Howie.
I've come, at this age, and I'm an old guy now. I've become very comfortable with my discomfort. I'm uncomfortable, but I'm very comfortable with it. I'm also very medicated, so I am. I go, and my therapist through this pandemic has moved into. He just informed me he's a little upset, but he's happy. I moved him into a whole new tax bracket.
Oh my God! I don't know whether you're being serious or not. That might actually be
being serious.
Oh my gosh!
I'm always serious, but laughter is the best medicine.
You are.
Unless you have diarrhea, then laughter is not the best.
Oh my God! I tried stand-up in college. It was the toughest thing I've ever done, but it was the most exhilarating. Getting people to laugh.
That's how I feel. My analogy. I love thrill rides. And I love being scared because maybe it's because I'm medicated, so I'm kind of flatline most of the time. So I love excitement.
Right.
And the higher I'm being tossed, and the scarier it is, and the bigger the drop, and the closer to death I think I've come, the more I enjoy it, the more my adrenaline, and that's what stand-up is to me. That's what getting up on stage and going, ladies and gentlemen, Howie Mandel. And then I love, now after 40 years, I got a safety net of a ton of material, but I love to not have material. I love when something technical, there's a glitch, something happens. Not so much a pandemic, but short of this pandemic, I enjoy trouble, and I enjoy getting in trouble, and I enjoy... and that's the Electricity on AGT, which premieres tonight on NBC at 8 o'clock.
I was literally about to make that U-turn for you, Howie, and look at you making that U-turn.
Psychic.
I was about to do that. I was really about to do that.
I'm driving, apparently. I'm driving your show.
It's great, though.
You can take over now.
No, it's great. It's great. I was literally about to say, it sounds like you were describing an act on America's Got Talent.
Well, every act. These people show up with their hopes and their dreams, and they're not, for the most part, incredibly trained or haven't put a lot, unlike sports. They, when you show up on the field or on the court, you've put in tons and tons and tons of, a lot of these people have, but then they don't have the experience of playing in the real game, and this is the real game. And to see that awe and that joy and that fear in these people's eyes, and then within 2 minutes, hopefully their life has changed forever and their hopes and dreams have come true. And it's so exciting. There's one, I'm not giving away anything, but
Sure.
Tonight there's a viral video already on YouTube they released last week from our show. There was a man who was wrongly incarcerated. DNA freed him after 36 years in prison. He was a kid, and now he's out in his 60s. 36 years. He just got freed in March, and all he wanted to do, he used to watch AGT on TV, he just wanted to sing. And he comes out. He's never even used a cell phone. 36 years is an eternity, and he comes on our show and sings the most heartwarming, tear-jerking rendition of Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me by Elton John. If you haven't seen it, go click on YouTube and watch Archie.
Well, you were talking.
It's incredible. I watched this over the weekend, Howie, off of your Twitter feed. Just remarkable, this guy's story.
Yeah, and there's a ton of those, and the beauty of AGT is this is a platform. And you're going to take that ride with us. The beauty of tonight is we started taping 17 days before the shutdown of the pandemic. So you're going to see the crowd of 4,000. You're going to see, it won't be like it'll be a lot louder and more exciting than the golf match of yesterday, which was exciting for me because that's the only sports that exist. But the truth is, it's like an old friend, and you'll be cloaked in cheering audiences and tears and laughter and everything. And then the pandemic happened, and we didn't get shut down right away. They removed our audience. You'll see that in a few weeks.
Right.
So we have these people performing like yesterday, but they go ta-da, and then it's like crickets. There's nobody there except us four, and I'm sure Terry mentioned that we have Heidi Klum back.
Yes.
Sofia Vergara, who is just so beautiful and witty and smart and funny, and Simon and Terry were all there, but that's all that's in the room when they go ta-da. And then Heidi got sick, and luckily it turned out it wasn't COVID-19, but she was sick, and then there was three of us, and then they shut us down, and we started Zooming.
And you're just going to watch it all develop, and we're
unfold,
right? And we were just
of your eyes,
we were
like
just
everybody else.
and we were just looking at the I guess promotional, not the photograph, but it's sort of a graphic where you're all photoshopped clearly, but you do look the most socially distant. I'll be honest with you. Howie.
I am.
You look like you're like
we weren't standing together. You're talking about the five of us.
Yes, the five of you. Yeah. It looks like they even photoshopped you socially distant, Howie. I'll be very honest with you. That's what it looks like.
I am socially distant. I was born socially distant. Well, also I've been married for 40 years.
Yes.
And we had our 40th anniversary in lockdown, and my wife for me, there probably will not be a 41 because we're in lockdown. She's really learned who I am and what makes me tick, and she's really not happy with that.
After four decades,
anybody who's been married for more than a decade knows what social distancing is. Right? Don't touch me. Get away from me. I feel you breathing on me. Get away.
And now you've got the backstop.
Decade of marriage.
Exactly. And now you've got the backstop of, honey, I was just trying to make a joke. Now you've got that backstop, Howie.
Yes.
Because of what
it's no joke now. People have always said, like, I'm in Hollywood and I've been married all this time. They go, how do you make it work? Well, I was doing, 100 to 200 live dates a year. I was doing AGT. I was busy. I was not at home, and my wife was thrilled. She said, distance makes the heart grow fonder. A pandemic in lockdown kind of just F's that all up.
And by the way, you forgot about turning people who open cases into princesses, Howie. You did that.
Duchess.
Oh, pardon me. My bad. I just screwed that one up.
No, you didn't. You didn't. She's always been a princess in your eyes, but she's a duchess. And Meghan Markle,
that's right.
Don't know, was a
and prior to that, Chrissy Teigen as well.
Chrissy Teigen was also there, and then you're forgetting number 8. Come on.
Number 8 being
Hillary Clinton. And who knew? Who knew then that
I missed that episode. I missed that one, Howie.
I know.
I totally missed that episode. I got to go back. I got it on my DVR. Oh man.
Anyway, tonight, 8 o'clock,
Yes.
NBC. Do not miss.
Do not miss it. Season 15 premieres tonight. Howie, this has been awesome catching up with you. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, buddy.
You be well.
Stay safe, stay healthy, buddy.
Right back at
Everybody.
you. You got it. Same to you.
Bye-bye.
That's Howie Mandel. There you go.
Bye.
Well done, Mike.
Great
Well
crowd.
done. You gave him a nice round of applause. There you go. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.